There are independent mechanics across America who will turn down paying work rather than repair a European luxury SUV. They will look at a Range Rover or a BMW X5 sitting in the parking lot, and they will tell the owner to take it to the dealer. These are business owners turning away money on purpose. The reason they do this reveals everything about the difference between European and American vehicle engineering, and it explains why those same mechanics drive simple American vehicles in their own driveways. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the people who repair vehicles for a living refuse to own the European SUVs that wealthy buyers consider status symbols. The numbers explain the refusal. According to maintenance cost data, a BMW X5 costs approximately $18,000 to $19,000 to maintain over its first 10 years. A Range Rover costs approximately $20,000 over the same period. Car Edge data shows the Range Rover has a 51% chance of requiring a major repair within the first 5 years, which is 12% worse than comparable luxury SUVs. Consumer Reports ranks Audi, BMW, Land Rover, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, and Volvo as the most expensive vehicle brands to maintain in the entire market. For direct comparison, Consumer Reports found that the 10-year maintenance costs for Buick and Lincoln are each approximately 1/4 of the cost of a Land Rover. 1/4. An American luxury vehicle costs 75% less to maintain than a comparable European one. But the cost is only the surface of the problem. The deeper reason mechanics refuse this work is structural, and it explains why these vehicles are so expensive to maintain in the first place. European luxury SUVs are engineered with a philosophy that prioritizes performance, comfort, and technology over serviceability. The systems are complex, tightly integrated, and designed to be serviced by factory-trained technicians using proprietary diagnostic equipment. When an independent mechanic takes on a Range Rover repair, several problems emerge immediately. The diagnostic equipment required to properly read the vehicle systems is expensive and often manufacturer-specific. The parts are expensive and frequently must be ordered through dealer channels rather than standard parts suppliers. The labor is time-consuming because the systems are densely packed and difficult to access. And critically, if the mechanic makes a mistake on a vehicle this complex, the liability is enormous because the repair costs are so high. Hold on, because the specific systems that fail on these vehicles are the ones that cause mechanics the most difficulty. The air suspension systems used on Range Rovers and many European luxury SUVs are a frequent failure point. When an air suspension compressor or air strut fails, the repair is expensive, the parts are proprietary, and the diagnostic process requires specialized equipment. The advanced electronics that control everything from the climate system to the driver assistance features generate fault codes that require manufacturer software to interpret correctly. The complex all-wheel drive systems, the transfer cases, and the differentials require specific fluids and precise service procedures. The turbocharged engines pack enormous complexity into tight engine bays, where simple jobs become multi-hour procedures. For an independent mechanic running a small shop, taking on this work means investing in equipment that only serves a small number of customers, ordering expensive parts with long lead times, and accepting liability for repairs that can cost the customer thousands of dollars if anything goes wrong. Now pay attention, because this is where the contrast with American vehicles becomes the entire point. The same mechanic who refuses to work on a Range Rover will happily work on a Chevrolet Suburban, a Ford F-150, or a Crown Victoria all day long. The reason is that American vehicles, particularly the body-on-frame trucks and SUVs built on proven platforms, are engineered with serviceability as a core priority. The systems are accessible, the parts are available at any auto parts retailer without dealer authorization. The diagnostic equipment is standard across the industry. The repair procedures are documented and well understood. A mechanic can diagnose, repair, and return an American truck to the customer quickly, profitably, and without the liability risk that comes with a $100,000 European SUV. This is not a matter of American vehicles being primitive. It is a matter of design philosophy. American trucks and full-size SUVs were built to be worked on. They were built for fleet operators, contractors, and working families who needed vehicles that could be repaired affordably for decades. European luxury SUVs were built to be experienced when new and serviced by the dealer network for as long as the original owner kept them, which is typically a short lease period before the vehicle is traded in and the next owner inherits the escalating repair costs. But this is not even the most significant detail, because there is one thing that happens to these European SUVs after the warranty expires that explains the entire used market. European luxury SUVs depreciate faster than almost any other category of vehicle, precisely because buyers understand the maintenance costs that await them out of warranty. A Range Rover that sold for over $100,000 new can be purchased for $30,000 used after a few years. This looks like a bargain. It is a trap. The depreciation is steep because the market has priced in the reality that the second owner will face annual maintenance costs of $2,000 to $3,000 or more, with the constant risk of a major repair that can cost $10,000 or more. The low used price is not an opportunity. It is a warning. The market is telling the buyer exactly what the ownership experience will cost. The mechanics understand this completely, which is why they will not own these vehicles even at the depreciated price. What the mechanics drive instead reveals their actual priorities. The people who repair vehicles for a living overwhelmingly choose simple, repairable, durable vehicles for their personal use. They drive older American trucks with proven engines. They drive body-on-frame SUVs that can be serviced in their own garages. They drive vehicles where the parts are cheap, the repairs are straightforward, and the total cost of ownership is predictable. They choose the Chevrolet Suburban with the small block V8. They choose the Ford F-150 with the modular V8 or the legendary inline 6. They choose the Crown Victoria and the Panther platform vehicles that police departments ran past 300,000 miles. They choose the vehicles they know they can keep running indefinitely without depending on a dealer. The contrast extends to the ownership economics. An American body-on-frame SUV from the 1990s or the early 2000s cost a fraction of a European luxury SUV to maintain. The parts are inexpensive. The labor is simple enough that the owner can perform much of it personally. The diagnostic process requires only standard equipment. There are no proprietary systems, no air suspension failures, no dealer-locked software, and no escalating repair costs that increase with the vehicle's age. The American vehicle becomes more economical to own as it ages because the purchase price drops while the repair costs remain manageable. The European luxury SUV becomes more expensive to own as it ages because the repair costs escalate while the systems become more failure-prone. This is the choice that defines the difference between buying a status symbol and buying a tool. The European luxury SUV is a status symbol. It signals wealth, it provides a refined driving experience when new, and it depreciates rapidly while the maintenance costs climb. The American body-on-frame SUV is a tool. It does a job, it can be repaired by anyone, and it retains usefulness for decades. The mechanics who see the true cost of every vehicle that comes through their shops choose the tool every time when they spend their own money. There is a lesson in what the experts choose. In every field, the people who understand a product most deeply often make different choices than the people who buy on image and marketing. The mechanics who refuse to work on European SUVs are not being lazy or unskilled. They are making a rational business decision about liability and profitability. And when they go home and choose what to drive themselves, they make the same rational decision about cost and reliability. They choose the American vehicles that can be repaired affordably, maintained independently, and owned without the constant financial anxiety that defines European luxury SUV ownership out of warranty. The wealthy buyer purchasing a new Range Rover sees a symbol of success. The mechanic sees a vehicle that will cost its second owner $20,000 in maintenance over a decade. The wealthy buyer sees advanced technology. The mechanic sees proprietary systems that fail expensively and cannot be repaired independently. The wealthy buyer sees luxury. The mechanic sees a liability he refuses to take into his shop. The difference between these two perspectives is the difference between buying what you are told to want and buying what actually serves you. The mechanics have made their choice. It is parked in their driveways, and it is almost never European. Before the next video, one question. Have you ever owned a European luxury vehicle out of warranty? What did it cost you when something major failed? Or did you make the other choice and stick with a simple American vehicle? Leave it in the comments below.